Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about how this upcoming villain Moro in Dragon Ball Super may be more powerful than both Jiren or Broly. Now, the reason why he may be more powerful is because Moro, unlike Broly or Jiren, is a magical based character, and he, besides being the main villain of the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga, he is a character that is really unique, honestly. He kind of has like a goat kind of appearance instead of a more traditional humanoid appearance that a lot of the recent villains have had. And he's not only a master martial artist, but like I said before, he's a magic user. And he's a magic user on par with gods. So when we're first introduced to him in kind of the first chapter for this upcoming saga, we see he's fighting both the Grand Supreme Kai and the South Supreme Kai. And he's only defeated because his magic and energy was sealed by the Grand Supreme Kai, but at the cost of the Grand Supreme Kai's quote-unquote godly power, which is why he was so weakened that when fighting Buu, he ended up being absorbed by Buu, and that kind of led to Fat Buu looking the way he does today. But another ability that's unique to Moro that we haven't really seen before is his ability to drain a planet of its energy and then eat that energy to enhance his own strength. And the technique looks actually kind of similar to how a spirit bomb is formed, except for it's like if Goku made a spirit bomb, but instead of asking for the energy, he forcibly took the energy and then absorbed it into himself. But the way they do it is as such that it's almost an unlimited power boost that he can use. So pretty much he can just go planet to planet to planet and absorb as much energy as needed to just get stronger and stronger and stronger. And they even say in the chapters that he's responsible for the death of about 320 planets in a mass extinction type of format. So basically he wiped out like a whole galaxy, which is just insane, because if he's that powerful and he's fighting, gods and stuff like that, and gods have to use godly ki, godly energy to defeat him. I mean, that just shows what type of threat he is beyond a threat of the mortal plane. But another thing I find really interesting about him is that he appears to have some sort of telekinetic and limited telepathic abilities. So like when Goku was using his abilities to sense where he was and sense him and sense his power level, he knew and kind of stalled Goku in the process. And at the same time, he's able to summon meteors to kind of attack his foes, which is also something we haven't really seen before, because obviously he's beyond a planet buster on like a power tier level scale for people that really care about that stuff. But to have the ability to summon meteors and also grow your power seemingly to an unlimited capacity, that's just a level of villain that we haven't seen before in either Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super. I mean, the last time we really got a magical user as a villain for a story arc like this was Babidi and Bibidi, I guess by proxy, during the Buu saga. And since then we've gotten a lot more supernatural, like alien villains and stuff like that. But it's really interesting to see a villain that's so powerful. They even said that he was so powerful after his magical abilities and enhancements were kind of sealed away, he was still too powerful to be killed. And he's immortal, so he survived millions of years just imprisoned because they couldn't kill him still, even after he was quote unquote weakened. So I definitely think that's really interesting, because that means that even beings like Frieza, according to the Galactic Patrol, wouldn't have been able to kill him, because they said nobody could kill him. And even the top soldier for the Galactic Patrol said he was out of his basically scale of abilities, more or less, like way beyond his scale abilities. So while I don't doubt he's probably physically weaker than a character like Jiren, and he probably lacks the brutality of a character like Broly, his abilities and magic, and just in general, I feel like make him clearly a much more powerful character, because he seems to be a lot more strategic, seems to be a lot more calm and collected in his mannerisms from what we've seen in the chapters so far, and also he seems a lot more kind of intentional. Jiren was very intentional with his moves. Broly wasn't as much intentional. He was more of a wild kind of character. But the one thing those characters had in common was that even though the weakness wasn't super clear, they had a weakness, which was that they could be overpowered. And the character from Moro, it appears, you could always argue every character could be overpowered, but how do you overpower a character that can willingly just make himself more powerful by doing things like draining planets? And you could argue that it's possible that since Beerus has been kind of sloppy at his job as a destroyer, there's probably a lot of extra planets laying around there that shouldn't be there, that Moro might consume as soon as he's properly freed and shown more actively in this upcoming saga. I mean, he might just go around absorbing planets left and right, eating their energy left and right to get more powerful, because Beerus, like I said before, hasn't been destroying planets like he's supposed to. So this is why I think he's more powerful than either Jiren or Broly, or at least could be more powerful than either one of those characters, because unlike both of those characters, he has the ability to willingly make himself more powerful whenever he wants to an unlimited capacity, as we know at this point. I mean, the flexibility of his abilities that he has with his magic, the instant power boost, immortality. We don't even know if he has a weakness, really, honestly, at this point, to the point where the Grand Supreme Kai had to use almost all of his godly energy, we were told, to seal him away. I mean, the fact that that had to be kind of the technique used, a forbidden technique that wasn't even used or invented up until that point by the Grand Supreme Kai, I think that says everything you need to know about the extent of power this character has. And even after that, he was still too powerful to be killed by presumably anyone in the galaxy, according to the Galactic Patrol. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this character? Are you excited to see more about this character? I definitely am. Comment below, and we'll see you guys later.